Hey guys! So, yesterday, I feel like a nerd every time I do that. Yesterday, my cousin made a video doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, and at the very end, he tagged my boyfriend to do the Ice Bucket Challenge. And I didn't want to dump a bucket of ice water on my boyfriend's head. Unfortunately, I'm job hunting at the moment. I'm in between jobs, so I don't quite have the money to afford donating. But what I decided to do is, instead of dumping a bucket of ice on my head, I would contribute to this cause by instead educating you guys on what ALS is. So I have pulled up the National Institute of Health's page about MLS, or not MLS, what? ALS. And I will now just kind of skim through it and give you guys just a quick run through and maybe a little bit of an explanation if I can on ALS. Well, ALS stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It's also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, named after the baseball player who contracted the disease and died back in the early 1900s. It's a progressive, usually fatal neurodegenerative disease. It attacks the motor neurons in the body, so motor neurons in the brain and the spinal cord, the central nervous system basically. What motor neurons do is they are responsible for controlling voluntary motion. The windows are closed, and I'm sure you heard that. So motor neurons control voluntary motion, so muscle contractions. And that directly relates to the very first signs of ALS, which is weakening of voluntary motion. So for example, you find that it's hard to grip a pen or walk or stuff like that. Keep looking, not at the viewfinder. It's a motor neuron disease, and of the motor neuron diseases, it is the most common, although it's still considered a rare disease. As time goes on, ALS, like I said, it causes weakness, muscle atrophy, which basically means muscle tissue just breaks down, and eventually individuals lose their ability to move, do much of anything, even swallow. And towards the end of the disease, people can suffer from respiratory failure as the smooth muscle in the vital organs start to shut down as well. Typically, ALS patients don't live longer than about a decade, but a very small percentage, such as Steve Hawking and 10% of ALS patients, do survive for more than 10 years, which is awesome. It doesn't affect cognitive function, just motion. So right now, there's a prevalence of 3.9 cases per 100,000 persons in the US that have ALS, so about more than 12,000 people right now, according to the National ALS Registry. I already said it's the most common neuromuscular disease, even though it's rare, and it affects everybody. So black, white, Asian, you can get ALS. It's more common among white males, not Hispanics, and persons aged 60 to 69 years, but any older people or younger people can still get the disease, and men seem to be affected by disease more often than women. In the majority of ALS cases, 90 to 95% of them, the disease occurs with no clear risk factors, like no family history, and there's no risk in the family, so they just kind of develop it like, what the heck? Onset is very subtle because it's just something like cramps, tight or stiff muscles, or weakness, slurred or nasal speech, or difficulty chewing and swallowing. These are really subtle at first, and they progress to more obvious weaknesses that are like, okay, maybe this is ALS. Parts of the body showing early signs depends on which muscles are affected. Hand or arms seem to be noticed first. So like at the moment, ALS there's no known cause. There seems to be there's a possibility of a genetic predisposition, but again, it's still being researched as far as this goes. Yeah, there's like over a dozen genetic mutations have been identified at the moment for ALS. There's no known cure, but at the moment there are means to treat ALS and to try and prolong a patient's life and try and optimize their health-related quality of life. And this includes medications, physical therapy, symptom management, and special equipment that helps improve a person's quality of life. So at the moment, it's just there's no known cures, there's treatment to try and prolong life. And that's where the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is coming in. It's hoping to raise money to work towards a cure, which is a great cause. I just think that kind of got lost a little bit when a lot of people just kind of focused more on dumping ice water on their head. So that's why I'm doing this video, just talking about what it is and stuff. And I ramble, but every video you've seen me and involved me rambling. In terms of vlogs, maybe I will start uploading more regularly. It's hard because, oh yeah, I don't have a laptop. So I'm gonna work on that. Hopefully get a new laptop when I get a job and get a paycheck. I just wanted to tell you guys about that. That is the gist of ALS. It's a motor neuron disease, most common, though it's still rare. It's progressive, fatal, kills in about 10 years, breaks down motor neurons that control muscles, tissue, both skeletal and smooth, and there's no cure. And that's pretty much the gist of it. So that's my contribution to ALS. I guess if people still want to dump ice on their head, then I'll tag 3 people. So I nominate Kristen Bardis. Who else should I nominate? My cousin Katie. Sorry, Katie. And I feel like everyone I know has done the Ice Bucket Challenge. So if you haven't done it, do it if you want it to do it. But Kristen Bardis, you're definitely going to do it, and cousin Katie is also going to do it as well. All right, I hope you all have a great weekend.